Hi everyone, I am Marvick Kiseo, your facilitator for today. I hope you guys are doing well and ready to learn for today's discussion. But before we start, kindly find a comfortable place where you can focus to avoid any distractions. These are the following objectives we want to achieve at the end of the lesson. So our topic for today is about Presidential Decree number 1006. It is entitled Providing for the Professionalization of Teachers, Regulating Their Practice in the Philippines and for Other Purposes. This policy was declared by late President Ferdinand Marcos on January 1, 1977. Whereas all educational institutions shall be under the supervision of and subject to regulation by the state, an integrated system of education that is relevant to the goals of national development. Whereas the pursuit of these objectives is for the Department of Education and Culture to oversee all educational institutions. Whereas the supervisory function of the DSC is to ensure the educational institutions inculcate the studentry, love of country, teach the duties of citizenship, and many more. To implement these objectives, the institutions have relied upon teachers who has direct interaction with the young people and the children for their development of proper attitudes among citizenry. There are more than 300,000 teachers deployed all over the country. This compromises the civil service sector alone. This accounts for the tremendous growth of the teaching population. Despite the tremendous growth of the teaching population, we have to ensure that in the immediacy and urgency of teacher recruitment, qualitative requirements are not overlooked, because it is necessary to regulate the teaching profession. Thus, we have to recognize the vital role of teachers in nation building, and as an incentive to raise the morale of teachers. Now, let us go through the following sections under the Presidential Decree number 1006. In Section 1, we have here the title. Presidential Decree number 1006 is also known as Decree of Professionalizing Teaching. In Section 2, we have Declaration of Policy, a policy where teacher education shall be given primary concern by the government and must be of highest quality, that is strongly oriented to Philippine condition and to the needs and aspiration of Filipino people. In Section 3, we have the definition of terms. These are the following terms that are used in the decree and will be constructed as follows. First, we have here teaching. It refers to the profession primarily concerned with classroom instruction. Whether you're handling elementary or secondary level, we go with accordance with the curriculum prescribed by the National Board of Education, whether part-time or full-time basis in public or private sector. Second, we have here teachers. They refer to all persons engaged in teaching at the elementary or secondary level, whether full-time or part-time basis. They are legally qualified to practice teaching under this decree. Last but not the least, we have the board. It refers to the National Board for Teachers, duly constituted under this decree. In Section 4, we have creation of the National Board for Teachers. It is hereby created a National Board for Teachers, hereinafter called the Board, to be composed of the following. First, we have here Secretary of Education and Culture, Chairman, Civil Service Commission. These are the co-chairmen of the creation of National Board for Teachers. Next, we have the Commissioner, Professional Regulations Commission, 2 members representing the private sector to be appointed by the President, and they serve as the members of the creation of the National Board for Teachers. In Section 5, we have power and duties. The board shall have the following powers and duties. These are: first, They will appoint a set of examiners who will determine and prepare the contents of the board examination for teachers in the elementary and secondary levels of instruction to be held at least once a year. Second, appoint supervision and room examiners from among the employees of the government to approve application to take examination and approve the release of examination results. Third, they have to look from time to time into the conditions affecting the practice of teaching profession to enhance or maintain the professional standards and ethics. Fourth, they will issue, suspend, revoke, replace, or reissue professional teacher certificate and administer oaths. Fifth, appoint employees in the effective performance of its functions and responsibilities, prescribe their duties, and fix their compensation. Sixth, they will prescribe and collect examination and other fees. Last but not the least, promulgate rules and regulation. This is to exercise such other powers, functions, and duties as may be necessary to carry into effect the purposes of this decree. In Section 6, we have qualification requirements for examination applicants. No applicant shall be admitted to take the exam unless on the date of filing of the application, he or she will have complied with the following requirements. Applicant must be a citizen of the Philippines, has good moral character, free from physical or mental defect, and possess minimum educational qualification depending on their degree. In Section 7, appointment of examiner. So the board shall appoint a set of examiners who are recognized authority in teacher education. Their names shall not be disclosed until after the release of the results. In Section 8, we have scope of the examination. The examination shall consist of written tests, and the scope of which shall be determined by the board. That is all for my report. I hope that you guys have learned something for today. The next reporter will continue the other sections. If you have any question or clarification, please do not hesitate to contact me through email or messenger. Thank you and God bless you always.